Hey everyone, it's Batlin, and this is a Batty Batlin Art and Review Corner video. Today we'll be talking about Avatar, The Last Airbender. And I know there are many comic books and another series called Legend of Korra and comic books that ended up after that, but I believe they deserve their own videos. So we're only going to be talking about this 3-season series of Avatar, The Last Airbender, following Aang and his friends. And yes, spoilers ahead. Let's get started. Let's start with a nice little introduction. Avatar, The Last Airbender is an American-style anime. It was based off East Asian art and mythology, influenced by Chinese art history, Hinduism, Buddhism, and yoga. And even the gestures used by the benders are derived from martial arts. The mere art in this entire animated series is just mind-blowing. I've loved it since I was a child myself, and I've been drawn in ever since. And I've been in love with the series even all the way to adulthood. It's definitely influenced me in wanting to draw my own version of style into also copying the style myself so I can make some proper fan art. And the whole idea of the 4 elements into one, making the Avatar, that just blows my mind. So obviously my favorite character out of the entire series is Aang himself. I just loved his personal growth throughout the entire series, where he starts out as this kid. He knew what responsibilities he had to take on, and he ran from them. But he also learned that that wasn't the correct move. And just the way he learned every different lesson through learning different elements, that blew my mind completely. There was different lessons in every single episode that kind of just made him grow stronger as an avatar and as a person, from a little boy to a man in just 3 seasons. And he became my absolute favorite character in this entire series. No one could compare to him. And honestly, even still, he made mistakes. He still was human. And I think that's what he even focused more on. Like, no one's perfect, but the mere thought and trial of trying to bring balance to the world the way the Avatar is supposed to be is the whole purpose. Every Avatar made a mistake in history, and every Avatar did something good and great. And I think ending the 100-Year War was probably, something he definitely made up for in being gone for 100 years. So that's pretty much why he's my favorite character, and I decided to make this one art piece showing just him. I do have love for almost every character in this entire series, and that's another thing about this entire series that I was so impressed by, because you feel connected towards almost every single character, and that's very rare in certain animated series. Like topics such as issues relating to war, colonism, gender discrimination, and personal growth, like all of those were spread out through almost every single character. There was main character who had no bending abilities, Sokka, but he showed personal growth in being a leader and showing that he doesn't need bending to be this great guy. He brings a comic relief, yeah, but he's not just that. He's also someone you'd probably want to follow into war with eventually, because he is the older brother that stayed back in the village and protected his little sister and his grandmother. That's someone that you can admire. As for the little girl, she started off a little cocky and thought she knew everything there is to know about waterbending, but soon humbled herself to going, well, I do need a master before I can start teaching the Avatar. And she also let go of her anger towards the people that killed her mother in the war, and she was able to move on from it and learn from it. And that kind of personal growth was so amazing to witness as a child watching this in a series, because even I questioned, like, why didn't she kill the guy that killed her mom? I don't understand that. That would be the perfect revenge. And she came to grips with thinking, that's probably not going to solve anything. And that kind of personal growth takes so much courage, so much bravery, in my opinion. So just watching all these characters grow from that, and Toph being the most powerful earthbender ever, being someone that has already mastered this element and has had everything, is super cocky, but realizes that all she's ever wanted to do is be alone, but she realizes being alone isn't what she should do. She needs friends, she needs family. Even though she can, doesn't mean she should. And that kind of personal growth was amazing to kind of witness, because I know so many people who are like that and chose to, pick up the phone and actually hang out with their friends because they were kind of down, rather than just sulk at home. That kind of personality definitely could relate to Toph. And then, of course, there's Zuko. I think everyone loves Zuko more than any of the characters combined, mainly because of his personal growth. The mere fact of the villain turns good, that's amazing, because he goes through up and down throughout the series. It's not just, he's bad and then turns good. He goes back and forth for a while, and he has someone in his life that actually tries to steer him towards that path, but only a person can actually make the final decision to go that path. Only they have the power to actually decide, I'm going to stay good, I'm going to be good. And he realizes that he's more powerful than ever, and he realizes this is where he belongs. And just that personal growth was almost tear-jerking, because he has to end up fighting his own sister, which he knew would happen in life, but now he is with the man that he really truly calls his father. And that's another character that everyone just loves with no explanation needed. Uncle Iroh is probably the best, and he's the only one I do regret not drawing in any of my art depictions, but I feel like he deserves his own video too, so there may come a video where I talk nonstop about Iroh, because he's just full of wisdom and full of comedy and full of love and full of power too. That kind of firebending ability, there's no need to explain. He's just powerful. But this entire series, I think their personal growth was probably the most powerful thing in the series, was watching these kids grow into the people they are now. And in the comics, like I said, we'll get in more details about our own personal video on just the comics, but to grow from where they were and see how they ended up in the comics and then even in the next series, it's quite astonishing and making me think that life isn't short in a certain aspect. You have so much more time than we think. It looks short, but look how far they came from where they started, and all the way to Legend of Korra. And just to think, Zuko's daughter turns out to be the Fire Lord, and he started off as a little kid on a boat looking for the Avatar, saying, "I must do this for my honor." It's quite unbelievable if you start that series and then you see where he ended up. So I honestly love how this entire series was written, played off, and of course there's the art that astonished me. There's the style that's so different from anything else. And these are people that created this, they were so smart. They were so creative. They took anime to inspiration on a different level. They were inspired and they made their own. It's the best fan-made thing you can ever make. And honestly, guys, there's nothing else that needs to be said. It has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, if you guys are thinking about watching the series, I would highly recommend it. If you have already seen it but want to watch it again, I've watched it about a dozen times. I've lost count. But I don't think there's much else needed to be said in this review video. So I'm gonna let the ambience of this beautiful song and let you guys watch how I make this into my personal art. I don't claim to be a professional in any way. This is all just for fun and my love for the series. I have another art piece that I'm about to make here in a sec, and I hope you guys watch the entire video and see how all this progress gets done. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you at the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I didn't have anything else to say. I love this series so much, so it was pretty much simple. So please subscribe or like this video if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much.